Alright, what's up, guys? I just saw Spyglass Sony's newest film, Heart Eyes. So basically, what we get here is a Valentine's Day rom-com slasher kind of mashup. It's utilizing elements from both of these extremely popular genres, and in my opinion, this movie, without a doubt, succeeds, giving us a fun and absolutely entertaining movie. So for the past several years, the Heart Eyes Killer, or as referred to in the movie HEK, is a serial killer who stalks and kills couples on Valentine's Day. And in this movie, our two main protagonists, Allie and Jay, played by Olivia Holts and Mason Gooding, they are mistaken for a couple in this. You know, they kind of have like a little meet cute at this coffee shop in the very beginning, typical rom-com start. And Allie works at this market advertising firm, I believe is what it is. And after her and Jay have that meet cute, it turns out that he is basically her new boss, essentially. He shows up in the office. They're struggling to sell Valentine's Day cards. So Jay comes in and they need to recreate this certain ad for Valentine's Day for their company. So he asks her to dinner, let's talk about work, let's get this going. And this is when they are mistaken for being a couple. And this movie is directed by Josh Rubin, written by Christopher Landon, Michael Kennedy, and Philip Murphy. And out of those three writers, you might know Christopher Landon. He previously did both Happy Death Days. He was supposed to write and direct Scream 7, but I forgot what happened with that. He got let go, or, that whole Scream 7 debacle is just a story in itself. He also wrote and directed the 2020 film Freaky, and once I saw his name in the credits after the movie ended, even throughout the movie, I was getting Freaky vibes, Happy Death Day. His mark is just really written throughout this whole entire film, and in the best way possible, because I really love both of those movies. It's light, it's fun, it's definitely not taking itself too seriously. It's just such a good time, and this movie is actually extremely funny. Now, starting off with our two main protagonists, Allie and Jay, I really liked them. I thought their chemistry, pretty much from the very beginning was definitely there. They had something. Mason Gooding is so likable, he's so charming in this movie, much different than the Scream movies that he was in, He is kind of charming in those as well, but he's like a college kid, so he's just not quite, as grown up. And then Olivia Holt's character, Allie, she's kind of going through this breakup at the very beginning. She had just broken up with her boyfriend, and she's just endlessly scrolling through his Instagram posts and his stories or whatever. She's kind of basically stalking him on social media. And, her character basically plays that typical not ready to move on yet type of person who, even though they've met, another guy who's essentially perfect. They clearly have a lot of chemistry. She's really just scared to move on, but by the end of the movie, I actually ended up really liking her. Plus, she does do some pretty badass things when it does come to the slasher side of this film. Now, with the Heart Eyes Killer himself, I thought he was awesome. I thought he was badass. The whole look of him, his outfit, he's got this like trench coat, all black. His mask, the design of the mask is awesome. It's like this raggedy, old, dirty leather mask that he has with like the zipper going down the middle from, the top of his nose all the way to the back of his head. And of course, it's got the two hard eyes, which is what he sees from. And it's pretty terrifying. I'm not even going to lie. Like, the tone of the movie isn't really, obviously supposed to be scary. But if I saw this dude, if I was with my girl on Valentine's Day and I saw this dude, I would shit my pants. He definitely also has like a lot of cool weapons that he uses in this movie. In the first scene, which, by the way, is hilarious. It's a great opening scene on this wine vineyard. This couple is getting engaged, and they have like this photographer trying to take photos of them, and it's just hilarious, with also arguably one of the best kills in the whole film. But yeah, anyways, with that opening scene, we do get to see a couple of the weapons that he does have. He has these bow and arrows that kind of, he goes like this, and it gets longer. He can throw them at you. He also has a crossbow that he uses to shoot these at you. He has this cool looking machete with like brass knuckles right here. When he does use the machete though, it is of course reminiscent of Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, especially with how he looks. His stature is also very menacing as well. He looks like a really big dude, and there's a scene that takes place in a drive-thru as well towards the end of the movie that reminded me of the cornfield scene from Freddy vs. Jason, which is an awesome scene, and this scene was awesome as well. He's just walking through this drive-thru, just doesn't really give any fucks at all. He's just slashing people left and right. People are starting to notice. He's not scared of cops or anything at all, which is badass. There's also a scene that takes place in a police station, which is also one of the best scenes in the movie. The power goes out, and in order for the Hard Eyes Killer to see, he turns on his version of night vision, which is just his hard eyes that he sees from start glowing red, and that's how he sees, and all you see in the dark is just, part of his head. It's, like I said, it's really dark, and his glowing red heart eyes. It's fucking sick, dude. It was just so cool, man, and it definitely adds to the awesome aesthetic that this new slasher villain has. And this movie is definitely pretty gory. It has all the kills there that it needs to have, that a slasher should have. We do get a lot of those kills, towards the back half of the movie, I would say. That is, going to be one of my complaints with this movie. The middle part is kind of just a little spotty. But by the end of this movie, you're definitely going to be satisfied with all the kills and the gore that you do get. Is he potentially the newest slasher icon since Art the Clown, basically? I don't know. There's definitely something there, and I definitely want to see more movies with this guy in it. Now, with the humor in this movie, it's definitely there. It's definitely present from beginning to end. This movie is definitely trying to balance, a decent amount. It's got the humor to balance, along with the slasher and all the kill elements that it needs to have, along with the romantic aspects between our two main characters. And overall, I think it does a pretty good job with balancing all of that, which is another reason why this movie is so much fun to watch. I do think after that first scene that we did, the cold open with the wine vineyard, the middle part of this movie did just seem to have, just a slight pacing issue, in my opinion. If I saw it again, I might have a different opinion, just because that first opening scene was so awesome. And then we just kind of are sitting and getting to know these characters, Allie and Jay, for maybe just a little bit too long, maybe like 5-10 minutes too long, I would say, because I just wanted it to go back. I wanted to see the Hard Eyes Killer and, what he's doing. But it is a rom-com as well. But just what comes with trying to balance these two genres, you probably are going to tend to lean towards one more than the other. And with such an awesome new slasher villain that we have in this, I just wanted to see him pretty much all the time. But by the end of it, it definitely all comes together, and you kind of appreciate the balance that they were able to achieve in this movie. And just real quick with the humor, one of the funniest parts in this movie is when they're running away from Hard Eyes at the drive-in. They take refuge in this car, in like this van, and they're like, hiding under, trying to not be seen through the windows. But there's like this hippie couple in the back seat in this van, and this is when Allie and Jay kind of start to confess their feelings for each other, essentially, and they have this, really long and good talk. It's heartfelt, but the hippie couple in the back is kind of just doing something the whole time while they're having this super meaningful conversation, and it's it's fucking hilarious. And much like every slasher movie, when it comes to the reveal at the end of it, I kind of liked it. I didn't mind it at all. It was a good reveal, and the motives of the Hard Eyes Killer made sense to me. It goes along with the Valentine's Day themes. It was cool. So yeah, overall, guys, Hard Eyes is a funny, entertaining, bloody good time, balancing the rom-com and slasher genres almost perfectly, in my opinion. It's not trying to rewrite what both of these genres are. It's just giving you a very fun movie, just doing justice to both genres and really just doing each one right. Nothing fancy, nothing pretentious, and with Mason Gooding and Olivia Holt at the center of this, their chemistry is there from the start. Mason Gooding's charm. This movie is just all around awesome. So yeah, I definitely recommend that you go see this movie. It's literally a perfect Valentine's Day movie to go see with your girlfriend or really whoever. Go out, support your local theater, and with all that being said, I'm going to give Hard Eyes a solid 8 out of 10. But yeah, those are just my thoughts, guys. As always, I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. Let me know your favorite romantic comedy or slasher. But as always, my name is Zach, and I will see you on the next one.